Alrighty guys, going to be kicking off episode number 13 of the 1GP flipping series. Now, I put in offers at the end of my last episode, and obviously we're just going to kick it straight off from there since we do the entire week of flipping. Now, overnight, I did change up the price of the Ring of Stone, and it looks like we've had about 5 of these bad boys come through, which is really nice. All of the Adiors and about half of the Ranging Potions and a quarter of the Quan Potion unfinished. So let's go ahead and just abort all these offers, see what we have in the inventory, and see where we can go from there. Now, I bought these Ring of Stones for 1860, and it looks like we can sell them off for 1980, which is pretty good profit there. 120k on each of these, so 600k in total. Bit of trouble here with the Addy ores. We bought them for 1175, and they've crashed down to 1160, which is not what we like to see. I guess we're going to go ahead and chuck in the offer for those. 12k on 15 GP is about 180k loss. Yeah, not good at all. Now, we bought these 3,000 Ranging Potions for 1951, and they're going for 2596. What? Chuck that offer in for 9.5 mil, and we bought them for 7.1. So 2.4 mil profit. And we bought the Quan Potions for 26.75, and we can sell them for 27.40, so decent profit there as well. Looking at a couple 100k, which is nice, but 2.4 mil on these Ranging Potions, that's absolutely nuts. And they are starting to sell off as well. That's delicious. Alright, it is like 2 hours later, and everything has sold off except for the Rings of Stone. Only about 6 mil sitting in there, and we started this episode with 78 mil. So 6 mil on top of that, like, come on. We've already started this episode off with such a great note. 9.5 mil we sold these for, and we bought them for 7.1, so delicious, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Took a little loss on the Adiors, but I could not care less, especially with all this profit. Fuck yeah. I'm going to be flipping throughout the night and see how we go. Alright guys, just about to call it a night. We managed to make about 1.5 mil throughout the night tonight, so not too bad, but not the best in the world. We're still waiting for these Rings of Stone to sell off. We're at about 6 mil sitting in these, so be up to about 82, which is a great way to start the week considering we started on 77. So already up 5 mil, and we're only 1 day into this. If we can keep this up, we're going to make 100 mil this week, which would be absolutely fantastic. So we're going to chuck in our overnight flips right now and see what we can get going. So we're chucking in an offer for 10 light trousers. Now, these sold recently on GE Tracker for 50,000 GP, and they've got a mid price of 1.2 million. So not bad at all. Just looking now, they also actively trade around 500k, so if we can get a few of these coming through, I'm going to be a pretty happy man. Chucking an offer for a few Bandos Godsword ornament kits as well. Looks like we're getting about a 200k margin on these. I'm going to chuck in an offer for a bunch of Bones to Peaches tabs here. It seems like there's 100 GP margin on these at the moment, so if we can get 100 GP on 10,000 of them, I'm no mathematician, but I'm pretty sure that's 1 million. Dragonstone Dragon Bolts are trading for a massive amount lower than their mid price, so we're going to go ahead and chuck in 10k of these. There are literally no Super Energy Potions on the Green Exchange right now. None. We can get a Super Energy 3 for 3k. Let's do some quick decanting here, boys. Insta sold for that much. Okay, I'm going to get as many of these as I can. Quick decant, and since they're insta selling for a small profit, I'm going to chuck them in overnight for 5k and see what we can get going there. Could be a 300k profit just like that. Plus we make 315 GP from the vials. Perfect. Look at that, they're actually selling for 5k already. What is going on here? I might have to purchase some more of these. We've managed to snag another 1,000 of these bad boys. I think we'll leave it there on the Super Energies. I'm going to leave these in overnight, see how we go, but we got 1,000 of them for 3 mil, and we're trying to sell these off for 3,750. So if we get these going, that's a 1 million GP profit, just on a random find. And we're looking at about a 50 GP margin on the Red Dragon Heights. Chuck in 10k of those. Last up, we're going to be chucking in an offer for a few Air Orbs, not for that much. Jeez. Looks like we're getting about a 50 GP margin on these ones as well, which is pretty good. We'll go ahead and chuck in 10k of these, and that's pretty much all of our money. Gee, I hope these Super Energies sell off. Well, there's one. Good start, good start. I got a good feeling. Alright lads, it is the next morning. All of the rings of stone have sold off, which is nice. Made a decent chunk of profit on those. Super energies all sold off for 4.7, which means we made... Okay, we made about 500k on the super energies, which is not too bad at all. Nothing else came through though, except for a few red dragon hides. So a little bit disappointing. We did get one Bandos Gold Sword ornament kit, but... Let's go ahead and check what we can sell off these red D hides for. Alright, so we bought them for 2300. We can sell them off for 2362. So just over a 200k profit there. We'll go ahead and sell these off. And the BGS ornament kit is apparently going for around 4820 here. So it should make a cheeky little 300k on that as well. So almost another 1 mil overnight, which, you know what? I'm not going to complain about. Alright guys, post-stream, and we managed to sell off the Bandos God Sword Ornament Kit and all of the Red Dragon Hides, putting us on 83 mil. So a massive profit to start the week. We're up 6.6 mil and we're only 1 day in. I'm going to spend all night flipping with all of this and see where we can get to. Alright, I lied. I didn't do any flips throughout the night. Alright, kill me. I had things to do. I was doing things. Like, Alright, we're going to chuck in our overnight flips now. Looks like we're getting a juicy margin on the Ring of Coins again, and this one has definitely worked out for us in the past. We're going to chuck in an offer for 3 of these. Looks as though we're getting a decent margin on Dragon Bolts E. Alright, looks as though there's a decent margin on these Air Orbs. We're going to go ahead and chuck in an offer for 1073. Let's go ahead and get 10k of these. I'm going to go ahead and chuck in and offer some ranging potions just at their regular price. See if we can't snipe some overnight. And with our remaining 20 million GP, I'm going to chuck in an offer for a Primordial Crystal, well below its mid price. And I think we're just going to see how these go. We got 4 mil left. Let's chuck in one for a Dragon Defender Ornament Kit. Alright, that should do us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll leave that in overnight, and hopefully we get a few of these coming through. Alright, lads, looks like we've had a stroke of luck, and all of our big boy flips have come through. Not so much the small flips. However, we can go ahead and click collect on those and see what kind of margins we can get on these items. So we bought the Rings of Coins for 14.6, and they're now going for 14.950, so 350k profit on each of those. That is going to be about a 1.05 mil GP profit in total. Primordial Crystal we bought for 20,150,000 GP. We're going to be selling it for 20,400,000. So once again, about a 250k profit there. So we're up to about 1.3 mil so far, if we manage to sell them off. And we're going to be selling the Dragon Defender Ornament Kit for 3,955. So about a 100k profit on that one as well. So, looking pretty good for the overnight flips here, boys. I'm not going to lie. Alright, lads, it is a little later in the day, and everything is sold off. So about a 1.5 mil profit there. Are we up to 85? We are up to 85. And it is only Tuesday. We're 2 days into this. And we've made 8 mil. Like I said, if we keep this up, we're definitely going to make it to the 100. So fingers crossed we can keep this going. I'm going to flip throughout the night and see what happens. I fucking tell you what, lads. This probably has to be the luckiest I've ever been. I check the margin on Pegasian boots. Look at this shit. 31 million. 30.4 million. 600 GP margin. We lost. 600k GP margin that we lost, just checking margins. I mean, I didn't expect one to come through and be able to sell it off, but thank the dear Lord, we almost just lost 600k like that. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, we've been having some really bad margins all night. Really can't get much going at all. Sitting on 85.4 now, so we only made about 500k tonight. Let's go ahead and chuck in our overnight offers, and fingers crossed we can make a little bit more overnight. Now, we had some incredible success with the Ring of Coins last night, so I see absolutely no reason why we shouldn't try this again. 350k margin we made on each of these last night. I'm going to chuck in 4. That'd be 1.2 mil. Alright, I'm going to do something a little bit odd here, guys. Irrit Leaves are currently insta-buying for 100 GP below their mid-price. So I'm going to go ahead and chuck in an offer for as many of these as I can possibly buy. 30,000 GP. I'm going to chuck them in for 883 here. Hopefully we can get as many of these possible coming through. I mean, if we can grab all of these, just to put this in perspective, they're going for what, 977. If we get all 30k of these, it's a 3 mil profit. So we'll chuck them in for 883, see how many we can manage to snag. Alright, we got 13 of them coming through. We'll obviously leave the offer in overnight and hopefully come through. I'm pretty sure the limit on herbs is 10k. So if we get 10k coming through over the course of 4 hours, 3 times overnight, should be able to snag all of these. Only 2 offers, but I've got my fingers crossed about this one. Alright, before I started the stream, guys, I chucked in a cheeky offer for a few teacher wands. We managed to snag them for 19.25. I'm actually going to leave these in because they're doing pretty well at the moment. But looks like we're getting a fucking massive margin on these bad boys right now. Let's go ahead and chuck in an offer for this much. And 300k a pop. That's a cheeky little 900k profit right there. Bought them for 5.7. Going to sell them for 6.8. It's even more profit than I thought it was. God damn. However, today is Valentine's Day, lads, and I'm not going to be able to chuck in any more offers throughout the night. So we're going to have to chuck in some long-term flips right now. See what we manage to get a hold of. Once again, guys, the ring of coins is looking real juicy. There's just like such good margins on it every time, even though we didn't get any last night. I'm feeling confident. Let's chuck in an offer for 3 of those. We've still got 22 mil left behind. And it looks like there's a massive margin on tuxedo jackets right now, the light version in particular. Let's go ahead and chuck in an offer for 10 of those. Perfect amount for the cash stack. And hopefully we come back a little bit later tonight, and a lot of this stuff has come through. Alright, lads, it is the next morning. I jumped on last night before I went to bed just to quickly check the flips, and nothing had really come through. And I noticed on GE Tracker that there was a massive margin on Dexterous prayer scrolls. So I was like, look, I gotta get in on that. I have to. They were going for 77,360, and the mid price is almost 81. I was like, I could make 4 mil here if they just go back up to their mid price. However, probably should have looked at the graph. It looks like they're starting to crash, and that's not good at all. But what I will do, I'm going to hold on to it just for one more day. I'm going to chuck in the offer for 80 million GP here. Hopefully we can come back to a sold Dexterous prayer scroll for 80 mil. And if we do, we're looking at a 2.4 mil profit. Just like that. Alright guys, it is post stream and the Dex did not sell off, and even worse, GE Tracker is showing that it's at 74.5 mil right now, which means if I was to sell it off, we would lose 3 mil. Now, I've been looking recently, it's been a bit up and down, the Dex scroll. The end of January it was worth 150 mil, then it got back down to 70, then sometimes it sells for 100, then recently it's been around 75, and then not too long ago it dipped down to 60, and then all in one day it popped back up. So I think what I'm going to do is just leave the offer in for what I bought it for. Fingers crossed it comes back up tomorrow and we don't lose any money. If not, we're just going to have to take the loss. Yeah, mistakes were made, guys. I made an analysis on the Dexterous prayer scroll. We saw that it was going back down, and previously it had gone down and then shot back up. And it's happened. We bought it for 77.3 with hopes of selling it for 80. And we panicked this morning. We put it back in for 77,360, so we lose no money on it. However, it is back up at 79.6 now. So we could have made 2.3 mil on it if we just stuck with it, but unfortunately we bitched out there. Things are not looking very promising to hit 100 mil this week, but I'm hoping that we hit at least 90. What we're going to do now is chuck in our overnight flips. I just finished building my new PC, so I haven't had a chance to do any flips throughout the night, but we will chuck in some overnight flips now, and hopefully we can manage to get a few coming through. Gonna chuck an offer for 3 of these toxic staffs. Looking like there's about a 400k margin on them at the moment. Chucking an offer for a few of these rings of nature as well. Well, that's a good start. Already snagged a ring of nature, not too bad at all. We'll chuck that bad boy back in the sell right now. It's actually going for the mid price minus a couple coins, so we'll chuck that back in now. Also going to chuck in an offer for some Ale of the Gods. Not too many of these though. Let's just go 3 of those as well. And we're going to chuck in an offer for some eclectic implings as well. Should be able to get about 7k of those. And that should do us for tonight. Wow. It was almost the perfect amount. Alright lads, it is a couple of hours later and we managed to get all of the Rings of Nature coming through. The other one sold off as well. I'm going to go ahead and quickly check on GE Tracker what this is going for now before I chuck it back in. But we also got all 8,000 eclectic impling jars, which is not too bad at all. Now the implings are only going for 26.40 at the moment, which is 160k profit, but I guess I can't complain with that. And the rings are still going for the same price, which is very nice. So another 280k profit there, plus the 140 from last night is 420, plus another 160. Looking at about 580k profit overnight, which is not too bad. But now that I have a updated PC and I have the processing power, I'm actually going to be flipping on this account throughout the day while I'm streaming as well. So hopefully we can make some absolute fucking bank today. Alright lads, we had an absolutely cracking day on the flipping streets today. 90 million GP, almost 91. It would have been 91 except for this absolute travesty here. Price check, 440k. Then I managed to snag 2 of them and the price dropped. So we ended up losing about 600k there. Would have been 91.1, but we'll take 90.5. Gonna go ahead and chuck in our overnight flips. See what we can get. Okay, Zenite Amulet's going for a fair margin below their mid price. We're gonna go ahead and chuck in an offer for a couple of those. Ring of Coins is doing things again, so we're gonna go ahead and chuck in an offer for a couple of those as well. Try and snag a couple pairs of light trousers. They're apparently going for 371, so we'll chuck them in for 375. Supposedly his opal necklaces are going for 24 GP. I'm going to chuck in an offer for 100 GP. Okay, so these raw garden pies have a massive margin here, and they're actually pretty actively traded for some strange reason. We're going to go ahead and chuck in an offer for 10k of these and see if we can snag them overnight as well. And we're getting a big boy margin on these toad flax, so we're going to chuck in an offer for 9,500 of those. There we go, perfect. The exact amount of toad flax we can afford. That's going to do it for our overnight flips. Tomorrow this video is going up. I really highly doubt we're going to get to 100 mil, but potentially if all this stuff comes through, we might make a decent chunk of change and get a little bit lucky. Okie dokie, we just got 3,000 raw garden pies. Now these have a mid price of 5.7k, and looking on GE Tracker, they actively trade around 1,200. I don't understand why they're still at 5k. It's interesting. Alright lads, it is the next morning and we've got a lot of stuff coming through here, but first I wanted to show you this. We bought 1 toad flax, which essentially means someone checked the margin, thought, fuck, that's a decent margin, and then undercut me by 1 GP, or a little bit higher, which is funny. But not only that, the exact same thing happened with the opal necklace. So we managed to get 1 of those as well, which is pretty funny if you ask me. But we managed to get both the Ring of Coins, both the Zenite Amulets, and all of the garden pies. We'll go ahead and abort the offer for everything else. Oh my god, I just had a look at Dex's, and they're actively trading for 85 mil, and I bought one for 77. No! So we bought these Zenite Amulets for 12,185, and they're going for 12,395 now. So we're going to be looking at about 200k profit on each of those, so 400k in total. Spent 14,650 on these Ring of Coins, and they're apparently going for 14,930 now. Now we bought these raw garden pies for 775 each, and they're apparently going for 1,019 coins. That's going to give us a 3 million GP profit. Alright, all of the Rings of Coins have sold off, which is very nice, and almost all of the garden pies have sold off. Just doing a little bit of flipping on the side here during the day, as we always do. I imagine we're going to end today on about 95 mil, which is going to be so close to that 100, but there's no chance we get there today unless something absolutely miraculous happens. Alright lads, that is going to have to wrap it up for this week's episode of the 1GP flipping series. I mean, I know I say this every week, but I still can't believe that we started with 1 GP. We've not left the Grand Exchange, and we're now at 93.7. We're almost at 100 mil from nothing. And guys, anyone can do this. So if you're trying to make some money, I mean, it's been, what, 13 weeks? We've come from nothing on an alt that I spend 5 minutes on a day, tops. And we managed to make 93 mil from nothing. Next week is definitely 100% going to be the 100 mil mark. I'm so excited to hit it. It's going to be a great milestone. And once we hit the 100 mil mark, there are barely any items left in the game that we can't afford. Only things being a select few third age items, the twisted bow, and a couple of other things like an Elysian or an arcane or something like that. We can pretty much afford any item we want to flip ever. And that means we can make as much bank as we possibly want just flipping all of those. I believe once we hit 100 mil, we're going to be able to make a lot of money per day. Probably not 10 mil, but I think we're going to be able to make at least 5 mil a day going forward if I'm focused and I'm actually flipping all the time, which now that I have a new PC, I'll be able to flip while I'm streaming as well, which means we can make money throughout the day. If we can start making like 5, potentially 10 mil a day, the cash stack is going to be shooting up so quick, and before you know it, we're going to be able to afford a twisted bow from 1GP. I'm so excited, but that is going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are still enjoying this series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will catch you guys in the next video tomorrow. Take it easy.